Hello there, I'm John Caruso and welcome to our Automotive Industries Insights series. And today we'll be speaking to Brett Mills, a dealer principal with Ken Mills Toyota, Nambour and Maroochydore. Brett, you were part of the discussions, I suppose, you and many other dealers and brands from around the country that sat down, I'm guessing, with government in terms of discussing the new vehicle emission standards. What was it that you guys wanted to, what point was it that you guys wanted to bring across to legislators and people making the policies and the rules around this?
Yeah, I think there's a couple of big ticket items. I think first thing is we agree that there needs to be a standard. It's not good for Australia, and Australia was one of the last developed countries to actually adopt a standard, to be in step with the rest of the world and to make sure that cars, frankly, aren't getting dumped in Australia. It's good for Australia to have its own emission standards. So we agree that we need to have a standard. Probably where we would have conflicted with government's view on the way it should be done, there was a couple of significant things. The first one is the calculation is done at point of importation. And when you're dealers, that's problematic for us. And I believe, some manufacturers, certainly Toyota, would prefer not to do it that way. Our preference is that the calculation should happen at point of sale to an actual retail car buyer, because what it does is it marries better than the way that the market works and the way that the legislation works, because you can see more clearly what's working and what isn't. So this way, being done at the point of importation has kind of created this secondary business model in the car industry, which is not necessarily about importing and the retailing of cars, and it puts dealers in a position where we potentially are forced to hold inventory, which is favourable from an import perspective, but not necessarily favourable from a selling to the general public. Probably the other, significant part that we wanted to sort of talk to government about was, the carbon output required by the standard is very low at the end of the 5-year period. We would have liked maybe to stretch that out a little bit and maybe just to back off a touch, just to give a little bit more time for the builders of cars to build and develop technologies that are going to comply with the requirements. They probably would have been our big ticket items.
Toyota.